Hi guys, so this is a short tutorial about making artwork, cover art for retro systems like the Spectrum, Commodore and Amiga. And as you can see, this one is called Orbital Rescue, well, part of the cover. And this is for a Commodore 64 game like Lunar Lander, where you have to land on the planet's surface. A second, that's just one of the images I made. Let's just go back a second. So you have to land on the planet's surface and collect all the guys that are stranded. So what I did here was I took this image of this space shuttle from the internet and I had to remove all the pixels and colors around it. It was very difficult, but you have to zoom in and then do it that way. Pick out the pixels and delete them. And then I placed that image in front of this planet surface, which is a gray gray sketch, as you can see, which works really well. And there you have the the rocket which is trying to land on the surface. Now, as you can see, we have a graduated title, a text, Orbital Rescue, and I like the way the gray in the word matches the planet surface, and also the blue matches the shuttle's exterior color. Now you can get these fonts from the internet. You just type in font generator, or you can use the Speccy paint tools built-in text. It's very easy. So as you can see, I'm just pointing to that light, the way it hits the planet. The space shuttle is using its rocket boosters to slowly descend onto the planet. So let's have another look. Another game cover I've made. Now, of course, I borrowed this one from the Atari cartridge. That's okay. And if you look, it's very simple. You have that Star Wars font in the picture. This is a new game for the Commodore 64. And I used a Commodore 64 font. I think I got it off the internet, font generator. And it fits nicely. You just got to fiddle around with it. Now look at the Zap64 logo. It's a transparency. Now in the app that we're going to use, Speccy Paint Tool, it handles transparencies very well. And it's great. I positioned it just to the right of this walker. And the color of the background of the orange takes on the Zap icon. And the bottom of the Zap icon takes on the sky of the image of the Star Wars game. So that's just absolutely beautiful. And it's really easy to do this because in the Speccy Paint Tool, you can layer a picture and layer, put a layer on top. Place a picture and layer things on the top like text or images and logos. So it's really well. And this one is easy to do because you have a blue sky, orange midground, and the white on the bottom for the snow. This is the planet Hoth. And as I said, this is a new game for the Commodore 64, Empire Strikes Back, and I've just borrowed this image from the internet. Nothing wrong with that. Let's have another look at another one. Now this is a game called Vampire Vengeance for the Commodore 64. This is a very simple image, and the game didn't have an art cover. So what I did, I took this image from the internet and I just opened it in Speccy. I made this font. I think I downloaded it using a font generator, a Commodore type font. And then I took this Vampire Vengeance image from the actual official website. I like the Commodore 64 logo because it takes on the color of the window at the back with the light coming through and the red of like blood. Now this is just a simple Amiga icon you can get from the internet. It's really lovely. Let's look at another image I used. This is Knockouts Pro, which I used for one of my fantasy sports games, a boxing game. I had to reduce it in size though. And this is the original image of Rocky Marciano beating, I can't remember his name now, but a famous fighter. It's a black and white photo. We've got a logo in the corner we need to hide. But you know, we're not going to go to prison for using this photo. Let's have a look. This next one. Now, of course, this is an Amiga game. Now, it looks very complicated, but all we have to do to get rid of this is draw a rectangle and fill it with a solid color. Now, take a look at the left corner. We have an Amiga label. And if you zoom in on the Flecky Paint tool, you can make some additions to that. Change the text. Yeah, I would zoom in here. Let me just have a look. You can change the text on there and pick the background color using the Flecky Paint tool. We'll leave the Virgin logo on there because that's great. So let me just show you there. So that's a Flecky Paint tool. And we'll come out of that second. So it looks complicated, but we need that as a template, you see. Let's look at another image. So this is the one I made for the ZX Spectrum. Same image. And we used the green font, which is probably the wrong color, but we used the same Rocket Knockout icon. And Ultimate Play the game. Now, of course, they don't make sports games, but I thought that looked nice. And a simple typewriter type Spectrum font. Yeah, so it's Rocky Marciano's Knockout Pro game, a fantasy sports game. Beautiful icon of the Ultimate games there. Do you like Ultimate games? Do you like sports games? Do you like boxing? I'm a boxing fan. I train boxing. But I also like to do this. So, this is the program here, Flecky Paint tool. And you can see where we've used them logos. Let's go back a second. That's my crappy netbook here, by the way. So there's that image again. Let's just close that off. And of course we can zoom in on this and look for little parts where we can improve it. And if we don't like something, we can delete it. I did make one with the American Stars and Stripes name, which is much better, much better. Let's go back to Flecky. Now I'm just going to show you now. So you zoom in there, and there you can choose your color. So now we're just going to put some text in because we don't like the font generator. So just an example. We can change the size, the type of font, move it around. Lovely. That's just an example. Of course, we wouldn't call it that HDH. But if we're not happy, we can delete it and go back. We can move it around with the hand. Zoom in, zoom out. My screen capture is just kind of chopped the picture off, but you get the general idea of this. You can upload documents and save your finished cover art fairly easily. Let's go back to the desktop. So again, we have that Spectrum image, Star Wars image. When you design these covers, think of colors. How you're going to use the colors. How you're going to use the text against the colors. If you've got a black background, you'll need a white font maybe, or a bright, or maybe a yellow one. You've got to be really careful. So we'll go back to this Sinclair 48K. Often games were called Sinclair, weren't they? Not Speccy. Sinclair 48K or 128K. Now let's just go onto the internet. So now we open, I think. Yeah, I was having a cup of tea here while I was deciding what to do. So that's our work area. And we have a fill tool. That's a shader to make something darker, to bring in a moire effect. So let's open one of the images. I downloaded all these earlier. Which one? Star Wars. Now remember, you have to layer this as a picture. Place it as a picture. Because that's going to be your main workstation, isn't it? Zoom out. I love that C64 logo. It's just fantastic. It just works so well against that orange background. Zoom in. As you can see here, we can make the outside darker. It's good. It's a good effect for some game covers. It doesn't quite work on this one, but you can see what you can do. Got to be careful with this one though. Got to be very careful. It does make it look kind of edgy. We go back, use the back button if we don't like it. Remember, we can zoom in really easily on this. So now we're going to look for something. We're going to go back and start another program. Write another image. Which one? So many choices. So there's the original photo. Remember to place as a picture, not as a layer. Beautiful image. The fighter was Joe Louis, who Rocky knocked out. Brilliant fight. I'm a boxing fan, by the way. Yeah, we've got that art kind of, you know, it's copyrighted, but no one's going to send us to prison. Now we're going to look for, we're looking for a font generator here. But there's so many of these font generators, it's untrue. You end up just writing your own text or just copying something from somewhere else. And many of these websites are absolutely filled with crap and advertisements. It's really annoying. You waste so much time. I did use that slime one for a game I made a couple of months back. A game cover I made. They're quite useful, but you know, you got to be very selective. As you can see, there's so many of these font generators. You can also download a font, and you basically unzip it and install it onto a computer. It's not the way I like to do it. But eventually I get tired of looking for one that's right, and I just use text. On one of my images I used the American red and blue flag, that lovely font. That's great. And I did Rocky Marciano's Knockout Pro, but I did it in two parts because it's a lot of words you put on your picture, you know, and it's very easy to do that. So here I'm just looking for the right type, and you can change the size of it, but none of these are really suitable. They're very poor looking. So as you can see, I get a bit tired of looking at that one. So we'll just have another look. Yeah, pretty much crap. It's reset for that. Time for a cup of tea. Let's go back to the image. We'll make our own. Choose a color. Now press your T and place it anywhere you want. Top, bottom, middle. Here we go. So you type your text in here. And as you're doing it, it shows on the screen. Now the photograph has a black background. We'll need to change the color, of course. Something bright like white. It's a black and white photo, so we've got to be a little bit careful. You can see that's there, but we can move it. As you type, it gets bigger. Not quite. That looks quite nice. Sometimes the simple fonts are the best. And we click on there and we can change our font. Some of them are really nice. You get pixeled ones, you know, for games like Nintendo. But really take your time here. Of course, it's just writing. It doesn't really matter, but I really like this one here. And I've chosen this one. I'm just going to increase it. As you increase it, as you can see, it centers more. Now, do you put it in the middle, the top, or the bottom? Be creative. Put it where you want. Just don't put it over the face of the boxes. We need to see the image of the pain of the boxer getting knocked out, because that's what's important in this photo. It's what's happening. Zoom in, zoom out. Use the hand to move the picture around. It's a lovely tool. I hope you like my tutorial so far. I find this so relaxing. It is fiddly, but it's enjoyable too. It's like having a beer. It's quite enjoyable sometimes. Okay, so we're going to choose an image to lay over the top. I love Windows, don't you? Knockout, yeah. I had to reduce this one in size. Now remember to layer this, not picture. Yep. Now it comes on quite big, so you have to reduce the size. It's kind of fiddly, so make sure you do it by the diagonals. Now, obviously that's part of the name. You can spin it around to make it look more dynamic. I like it at an angle. That's fine. This is not a work of art. It's just a game cover. It's about trial and error, having fun. That looks pretty good. I don't want it too big, of course. Doesn't want to take over the photo. The name of the company or maybe the name of the game is important. This is just for fun. And if we're happy, we go OK. If we're not happy, we go back. Use the hand tool to enlarge, replace it. Lovely. Oh, that's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Rocky was such a good fighter. He was unbelievable. 49-0. Unbelievable. He was only like 5'10", about the same size as me. And here we're looking for another graphic. Maybe the text of the name of the game or game icon, you know, the company name. Do we use Amiga? Do we use Speccy? Do we use Commodore? Let's try Amiga first. Lovely color, that one. It's kind of hard to place. Do we put it at the top, but it's in the way of Rocky's head? Doesn't quite look right, does it? I'm sure Amiga had sports games, but it's a beautiful logo. Go back, we don't like it. As I said, my corner of my screen is a bit chopped off, but don't worry, you'll get the hang of this once you start using this app. It's absolutely brilliant. Of course, you can use Paint, which is a bit more fiddly. Oh, Ultimate logo. Well, of course, they made them, you know, isometric games, but you know, it's a good company, and Rocky's a good fighter, so we need to match them two up. So I kind of like that, yeah. This looks like it's going to be a Spectrum game. Where do we put it? We don't want to go over the box's faces, but we need to put it in somewhere at the top over the black, maybe. Oh, we're looking for something here. Carl, no Facebook, no Facebook. Okay, are we looking for a generator or an image? See what we did here? We typed in Speccy, but we didn't type ZX Speccy. And you've got to put that ZX, and straight away on your Google, it finds it. There's some lovely images. It's good that they got a black background as well, because our photo's in black. Perfect. If it's not in black, we can just fill the background. That one's nice, but too chunky. Oh, that's really cool. That's like futuristic. Press more. Don't you just love Google? I think it's Google anyway. Not quite. I like that one. Yeah, I like that. It's kind of cool, isn't it? Round. But it does, the background needs filling in. You can do that on Paint, of course, online or on your computer. But we'll just try to fill it. I kind of like that one. Shall we use it? And you can change it to a PNG, a .png file on your computer, no problem. But I just like to get on with it, you know. I'm lazy. What are we going to do? What are we going to do, Mr. Cole? Yeah, let's get rid of that crap. Okay, yeah, go back to our program. Zoom in, zoom out. We need to do that. Hand tool. We can really zoom in to close here. Now we're going to pick that image when I can find it. You know, when I download stuff, I can never find it. But I tend to download to my desktop. Beautiful, beautiful icon there. Beautiful. Speccy, what a wonderful machine. As you can see, it's got a white background. We'll sort that out. Always go by the diagonals and just place, and then we can fiddle around with it later on. Yeah, go on. That's it. Squeeze it in, Carl. Squeeze it in. We don't want to cover the boxes because this is very important. They are the most important thing. Now, don't worry about this. We're going to fill the background. So zoom in, match the background, go to your fill, paint fill, or you can use this in. Beautiful. It's a slightly different color, but we can change that. Let's change it. Yeah, if not happy, go back. It's not an exact science. Just keep experimenting. If you're not happy, I do like Windows sometimes. You know, it gets a bad rap, but it's, well, I can see Commodore there. What are we doing now, Carl? Oh, Sunak, that bugger. Oh, I hate him. Yeah, we're looking for a Commodore icon. We're not happy with the Spectrum. Oh my god, I'm not going to be very popular. Yeah, this one is nice, but it's got a white background. We got to fill that in as well. Remember, we can do that on Paint, or we can use our Flecky app. No problem. Are we going to use it? Make your mind up, Carl. Time is ticking. Go back to our program. So much choice, so little time. Okay. Remember to change by the diagonal. It just makes life easier. And yeah, of course you can spin it around. We want the white background filled in, and we want that logo over the black background of the photo. It doesn't matter if it's in the corner. We got to be unique, haven't we? Try that. Nah, not quite. You can run images off the corner of the screen. It's kind of cool, but it doesn't quite work with this one. We'll play it nice and straight, I think. It's his fiddly. Don't resize too much. Let's have a look. Okay, cool. But we need to color that background. Bosh. Yeah. Just use your color picker. It's lovely. There's the color picker. It's beautiful. Oh, I love it. So unfortunately it's not a Spectrum one, but it is a Commodore. You can always change this later on, of course. Just use that template. Beautiful font. I love that knockout logo on the Ultimate, even though they didn't make sports games as far as I know. That's beautiful. And when you're ready, if you're happy with it, you can just download the blue arrow. It's so easy to do this. You just need patience and a bit of time, internet resources, a little bit of imagination. Borrow what's on the internet. Don't be, you're not trying to create a masterpiece. You're just manipulating art, aren't you? Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And that photo is gorgeous. It's fine, isn't it? That font doesn't override the picture. It complements it, doesn't it? So yeah, as you can see, you just need to have some imagination. Think about what colors are on your image, how you're going to overlay them, how do you make an image look better. If you're not happy with it, you can delete it. So thanks for watching my tutorial about making game art cover.